Like someone's watching me. Oh no. Is that Jared Leto? No, Jared, no! Please don't suck me off! No! So last night I watched Morbius. Yeah, as you could probably tell. And yeah, I just want to share a few of my thoughts on, well, not my thoughts, this is going to be a review. This is going to be my first review. And yeah, I'm going to share what I thought about Morbius. Let's go. Now, if you didn't know that Morbius is a Sony film, this is part of the Venom universe that they've been, they've been doing it for about 5 years now, yeah. And it stars Jared Leto and Matt Smith, as you probably know, and Gerard Harris, yeah. You wouldn't fucking, because he's barely in it. But, yeah. And, I've got some mixed feelings about it. This video may get downvoted because I've got some positive things to say. Now, I'm going to get all the positive things out of the way. So this movie, surprisingly, I did have a good time with it. The opening credits, just to start from the top, love the opening credits. The opening credits, absolutely amazing. The opening and closing credits, they have this, 80s vibe to it. I absolutely loved it. I wish more movies had those type of credits to it. They were beautiful. The acting, honestly, there's no bad acting. The script's a bit wonky. The script's really wonky. Matt Smith is a standout. He steals the entire movie. If I was to compare this villain in Morbius to the Venom, villains, so much better than the first Venom movie. When it comes to the villain, yeah, Matt Smith's so much better. Don't even know the villain's name in Venom. Is he better than Carnage? Is Milo better than Cletus? In my opinion, yes, he is. I think Matt Smith is the standout. He's better than any other actor in it. He does an amazing job. He knows what type of movie this is. I wouldn't even call him a villain, from my point of view. If you've watched the movie, you will know that he's not actually doing anything bad. There may be a few spoilers in this, by the way. So if you haven't seen Morbius yet, then leave if you want, stay if you want. But yeah, if you've seen the movie, I would not say that Milo is a villain, because he's just he's just surviving, He turns into a vampire, he's just sucking off people to survive, just like Morbius did. So yeah, that's a weird aspect to the movie, because I came out of it thinking oh, it's a shame Milo died, because I really like the character. So now going on to the other actors, Jared Leto, honestly, I think he's good in it. There's a few wonky scenes, but overall, I think he does carry the movie. The guy looks like a vampire, so I believed he was a vampire for the entire movie. I forgot. I literally do not know the female doctor's name, the love interest of the movie. She was alright. I enjoyed her for the majority of the movie. Then near the end, some stuff happens with her, which I just thought was pointless, and I don't really want them to continue it if they make a Morbius sequel. And obviously there's spoilers in this review, so I might as well just say. She dies, and then she comes back. So Milo kills her, stabs her with his thumb, straight through the neck. She dies. There's a bit of a weird scene where Morbius and her make out, and then she bites his lip, and then she drinks his lip blood. Then Morbius drinks her blood, and then later on, just before the credits, we find out she's turned into a vampire. That never gets explained. But I don't know why she turned into a vampire. I wish she didn't die, but I also wish she didn't turn into a vampire at the same time. I wish she just lived. Then you've got, is it Gerard Harris, which you probably know from Sherlock Holmes, A Game of Shadows, who plays Moriarty in that. I don't know why he's in it. He's good. He literally, with everything that he has, he's good with what he's been given. But I don't know why he's in it. I don't know why they chose him specifically to play that character. Anyone could play that character. Because he's in it at the start, he's in it a bit in the middle, and then he's in it at the end. I don't know why he's there. Yeah, and for the fact that I don't know why he's there, this kind of goes into one of the other things that I have a problem with the movie, is that it's very weirdly edited. Like, it's really weirdly edited. To the point where I feel like this scene's missing. Like, some stuff just happens. Like, Milo turns into a vampire. And I'm kind of like, oh, okay. Surprised we didn't see that. I'm surprised we didn't get flashbacks more for when Milo and Michael were kids. Like, I feel like there's a lot on the cutting room floor, which would have made the movie better if they actually explained stuff. But they didn't. The story, like I said, it is, from the editing, it does seem like there's stuff missing. But I do think there is a solid story. There was a solid story here. Long ago, I think there was a solid story in this movie. Something's happened where stuff has been cut out, or maybe there was never scenes. Maybe all these scenes I'm saying like were cut out, weren't even there. But basically we needed a bit more from the movie. There's these two cops in it. I think we needed slightly less with them. But the one thing I would say about those two cops is I want to see more of them. And when I say I want to see more, I don't want to, I don't care if they show up in like Morbius 2, if there is a Morbius 2 ever. I actually want them to be like the crossover character between the Sony universe. So it would have been cool if we saw them in like Venom, or like Venom 2, or in Craven, or Madam Web, or whatever, they're going to be doing next. If those are the characters that like go around doing like these weird like Spider-Man villain related, solving the cases for them, that would have been awesome, to be fair. And I hope they do it, to be honest. Talking about that cop though, like the metal arm thing, not the metal arm. He said that he had an accident or incident in Afghanistan, and the artificial blood that Michael Morbius obviously made, that's why he's famous, and he got, I think, a Nobel Prize for it or whatever. It saved him. It saved his arm. Later on in the movie, we do see the fact that he's got like this weird robotic thing on his arm. That never gets explained. So that's what I mean. There's these scenes that just happen, and you're like, okay. And surely he would have a scene with the arm, or why the hell would they just give him like a robotic arm if they're not going to do anything with it? I don't know. That's the problem. Like, there's a good side to the movie, but like the good side of the movie isn't actually there. Now, honestly, I think that's all I've got to say about the movie. The movie, like, before the credits happen, I've got a lot to say about the fucking credits. Just before the credits go, I think that's all I've got to say. I'm going to rate it right here before I get to the post-credits. Overall, and I'm going to get downvoted, and so many people are going to be like, oh, it's a shit movie and all that. I don't think it's an utterly dog shit movie, like some people are saying. It's not a good movie. I can admit that to myself. It's a fun movie, and I feel like over time this is going to be a guilty pleasure movie for me, because I don't think it's bad at all. I think there's a lot of good moments, especially Matt Smith's performance. And I'm not just saying that because obviously, Doctor Who, and I do a lot of Doctor Who stuff. I think honestly Matt Smith is amazing in this movie as Milo. He understands it. Like, I love every single part of him. He just gets it. And I know some people may think like, oh, he's being a bit weird, he's doing all these dances and stuff. You do have to remember that these characters, they've never been able to do anything like that. They've literally been weak their entire life. They have to use crutches to get around, sometimes wheelchairs. So, you need to think about from that aspect that, if you were weak and you were basically, you weren't able to do normal stuff that normal people can do, the moment you become strong, like, Superman or, Captain America or something like that, yeah, you would be dancing, wouldn't you? So, I love that aspect It's a bit silly, but you would be a bit silly. Overall, I would give this movie a 4 out of 10. I think it's a slightly below average movie. I feel like if some stuff was added and the studio, I'm going to get into the studio interference in a minute, but if the studio hadn't interfered as much, I think there's actually a good movie here. But because I can't, I haven't seen that good movie, I have to give it a 4 out of 10. It's a slightly below average movie. I would not go to see it in the cinemas. But once it's on Netflix, once it's on whatever streaming service it will be on, watch it. Yeah, I feel like you will have a good time. If you drink a bit, I feel like some of those problems you can just easily fly by. Yeah, so that's my review of just the movie just before the credits, and now I'm going to be getting into the post-credits. Yay! Okay, so this is the ugly part of the movie. I do not like this part of the movie at all. I can't defend it at all because I just don't like it. So there's 2 post-credit scenes in this movie. If you've seen it, you've seen it, but I'm going to explain it for those who haven't. The first post-credit scene, we basically are in a prison, the same prison that Michael Morbius got arrested in earlier in the movie, and all of a sudden, because we see, the night sky with the purple crack in there from No Way Home, we see Vulture from Spider-Man Homecoming just magically appear in prison. Very similar. It's like the opposite of all the characters leaving in No Way Home. And yeah, he just appears in prison. He's not meant to be there. He's not meant to be in that universe. So they release him. And I was like, okay, cool. That first part, I don't actually have a problem with, to be honest. I think it's a bit pointless. I'm not going to say, it doesn't make sense for him to, leave the MCU to join that universe, because that's not what the spell was. It could have been what the spell was. Honestly, the spell was so messy in No Way Home. Something could have just, went wrong, and it may have sent someone out of the universe. I'm not really fussed from that aspect. The second part, we see Morbius driving a really nice fancy car in the middle of nowhere. He parks the car, and then he gets out, and then all of a sudden he hears something in the far distance, and you see this really fast bird-like creature, aka Vulture, just flying towards him. He comes with his massive wings. It's a new suit than it is in the one from Homecoming, and he's just like, yo, Michael Morbius, thanks for meeting up with me. And Michael's like, yeah, cool, whatever. What do you want? And Adrian Toomes is just like, oh, well, basically, Spider-Man, yeah, let's sort that out. And Michael Morbius, for some reason, is like, yeah, cool, keep talking. That's it. That's the post-credit scene. I don't like it because, I don't know why we need Vulture in this universe. They could have easily just made a different Vulture and had him team up with Michael Morbius. I don't know why Michael Morbius would want to find Spider-Man. He doesn't even fucking know the guy. Yeah, I think... like I said, I think it easily makes sense for why Vulture is in this universe. I just think it's a bit pointless. I think they've already got so many cool characters that they can work with that they haven't used in the MCU, like Venom, like Kraven, all these different characters, that they could have used that if they want to start this Sinister Six thing, or this team of villains or anti-heroes or whatever you want to call them. They could have used the characters they already have. They didn't have to use MCU characters. I would have loved it if it was a scene similar to what we got, but instead of Vulture, it was Venom. And, Eddie Brock goes to him saying yo, I heard you're a doctor who can, fix people really well. Well, yeah, I've got something I need you to fix. And then, he's obviously talking about Venom. That would have been so much cooler because, you know, you'd been using the characters that you've already established in that universe instead of bringing in characters from a different universe. If they're going to, you know, use these characters like Vulture, for example, in the future movies, I'm not really that fussed with it. I don't particularly want to see it. I would much rather they use the characters, like I said, they already have. Because I don't want to see this, like, Sinister Six with MCU Vulture, Morbius, I don't know who else is going to be in it, like, what, Craven. Yeah. I don't particularly want that. I don't particularly want to see them continue it. I hope they forget about this end credit scene. I hope to see Morbius join up with Venom. They're very similar characters. I think it makes more sense for them to team up. You may be asking, like, do I want, you know, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man to show up? To be honest, yeah. I think he would fit very well in this Venom Morbius universe. I just don't want anything to do with Vulture. I'm just not interested in that aspect of things at all. And I just don't think Morbius would want to hunt down Spider-Man. I don't see him as a villain. Like, yeah, he's a vampire, but, you know, he's not a bad guy, just like Milo wasn't. They're sucking people's necks and they're sucking their blood because they're vampires, but that's because they have to live. They're not doing this for any evil reason. So I don't know why he'd want to be part of like a Sinister Six. So yeah, I hope that gets retconned if we ever get a Morbius sequel. I do want a Morbius sequel. I hope one thing they also do retcon is Milo's death. He was one of the best parts of the movie. So it's a real shame if he is dead. But to be honest, when he does die, it's so quick that I don't even know if he is dead. Like, we don't actually see him, like, properly die. Because, like, he dies, it zooms out, and then we have this montage of, like, the female doctor turning into a vampire. I think there's a bit with the cops. And then Morbius just, like, fucks off. And that's it. That's the end of the movie. Tell me what you guys think of Morbius, if you have seen it, in the comments down below. I really want to hear other people's opinions. Because the majority, well, not the majority, but a lot of people are just saying it's utter, they're either saying it's utter dog shit, or other people are saying, oh, you know, people are just overreacting. But I haven't actually properly heard people's opinions on it. So please put it in the comments, because I really want to know your opinion on the movie. And tell me what you thought of Venom and Venom 2. Do you want this to be part of the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man universe? And yeah, remember to like if you like the video, and thumbs it down if you really must. And if you want, literally, if you want more reviews on movies, because this is going to be a new thing that I'm just trying out today. If you want more of this, then please tell me. Please tell me, and the best way to tell me is that subscribe button. Remember to follow me on all my social medias. And until next time, bye guys.